Hello beans, fellow seeds, God. I'm a shell of a man labelled Roy Thomas Dow, and I'm here doing blue bean harvest number 12, is this? I don't know. This is, I'm excited actually. This is really important today. This is going to sow the seeds of awakening within you. I'm going to talk about lots of things, and yeah, this is all brought to you on Roy's Radio or whatever. I don't know. I'm aware of the white light here, so we'll just go over that, and I'm hoping that the placement of the microphone in the centre of my chest, as opposed to up here, will make it more palatable from the hearing sense for those with stereo. What are we going to talk about today? Well, this is a big one, okay? This is the start of how to be God. To be God, all right, let's go through a lot of things. I'm going to be all over the place because I've just written this down, just had the idea to do it, just been looking at stuff and thought, okay, let's do this. So, and I saw Goodwill Hunting the other day, and in the single reference of facilitating this continuation of deliverance of raw material to take on board and assess and consider and opinionate upon, so that you form a level of understanding with what I deliver today. Yeah, anyway, so I'm looking for someone to facilitate space for me to do this. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So what am I talking about today? Creation. I'm going to talk about creation of the first light. I'm going to talk about the first notion of movement. I'm going to talk about size and stability and how we use this as the building block in the sense of light. Then I want to talk about divine creation and illusion. All right, this is really important. Divine creation and illusion. And I'll be looking at fire and reactivity in the emotive sense. And this is all linked to coming back to being God, okay? When you're not creating, remember, you receive, okay? When you're not creating, you receive. And the deeper you dwell in peace, the more you receive, okay? So, let's crack into this. So let's think about creation. Let's think about creation in its entirety. So, in the very first instance, I'm aware. And with the awareness comes the sense of being. And I can focus that sense of being on a point so that I create the first light. And then in my head, I'm thinking about what is the first light. And I'm thinking about hydrogen, actually, in that sense of the one electron. And then I think, well, okay, that one electron is light, and the light moves and it's stable. And so as I'm talking about this, just picture, if you will, the idea of in front of you, you can see in your mind eye the one electron going round through an omnipath. All right, so how does this work? Okay. Well, in the first instance, when I created and focused my awareness to the point where light was created, the perception of light is from all directions, without and within. Okay, that sounds weird, but if you think, and I was sort of, I looked at the periodic table and was thinking about hydrogen and helium, and I was thinking about two hydrogen and one oxygen, and I was thinking about their numbers, and I was thinking about the replication of the same in the sense of creation. And if we look at the numbers, we've got 1 for hydrogen and 7 for nitrogen and 8 for oxygen. And 6 for carbon. And I still come back to this idea of just continuous addition, add to what you know. Because that's what you do. It's this idea of 1 + 1 = 1, isn't it? You have a foundation of stability, and you build on it. But what you've got, it's still coming from the same source. So, creation. So I just want to cover this idea of movement as well, because movement is always the idea of hydrogen. If we think of hydrogen as you know, spinning round, we can think not like this, but sort of through every point as it's moving round. If I was sitting inside a cube, or what we perceive as a cube, or if I was sitting inside a sphere, and a sphere is, if we're in the centre, and whatever we create, whatever I create, it's everywhere at once. So from that idea of I'm aware, I focus my awareness, I create the opposite of what I've got, which is darkness, and so I create light, and then with that light, it's everywhere, and then the sense of movement is because I can see it everywhere. How do we get stability in size? We get stability in size because our perception at the first instance is not something that's varying, because we have no concept of the idea of size. What I do is I just create, and that creation holds fast. And from that, I create everything else, and it is everywhere else. Okay? So the movement is based on a perception where the point of origin, in the sense of the perception, is central to the perception, and the perception is omnidirectional. Okay? So, it's like 3, 6, 9, you know. There we've got 1, 2, the 3 dimensions of space. Okay? So I just want to jump about a bit, because this is really important. I apologise, it's just the way it comes out, right? So in the sense of size, stability and everything else, what are we talking about here? Well, yeah, that's all well and good. But this is the illusion, isn't it? So why isn't it illusion? What is the illusion part? Well, the illusion part is what we think. Yeah. The three-dimensional perception from that notion of cube is is not really represented in nature. There's no straight lines, because you don't get straight lines from that notion of being everywhere at once. Yeah, that in the sense of it's moving. Yeah, if it's going to be around me, everywhere, then it's moving, isn't it, in all those points. Does that make sense? So let's think about divine creation, and let's talk about stuff. So from that notion of birth and awareness, awareness is apparent because we can see things through our senses. When we question and form opinions and create from our awareness, we share that, and yeah, that's, oh yeah, that seems right, okay. And it's like, well, you did that and you've angered the gods, and so all the crops have died. And it's, oh yeah, right, okay, yeah. And it's because when you didn't do that, the other year, we had great crops. Oh, right, okay. So you can see how easy it is to lay something down as a belief. But the belief is in error. And it's like I said the other day, when we have something in the middle, which is soul awareness. What is soul awareness? Well, soul awareness is your awareness as a creation of God awareness, in the sense of a child creating the same. Because I'm aware, I can have more awareness. And through the same process that comes up. The created space that we have to experience, yeah, is just here for us to enjoy creation. And the illusion comes from thought, our thought, in the sense of creative thought. So creative thought. Creative thought. What is creative thought? Let me give you an example of error that I've experienced personally, because it's very important. Let's talk about fire and about being God and how this works in the sense of interaction. Remember, when you're not creating, you receive, and the deeper you dwell in peace, the more you receive, okay? And that's because the vessel, this body, which we use at rest, when it's at rest, is just receiving. And when it's walking along without loads of thoughts going round and round and round in your head, most of it is based on negative interactions, okay, what's unloving. This is all connected, it's all part. So being God. So imagine, if you will, this scenario, very, very, quite specific. And just picture this. There is, from a communication, an error in the sense of reception. An emotion becomes apparent, fiery emotion, which is linked to another awareness. So you've got these two awarenesses in fiery emotion. Yeah. Born of another, which is, oh, Strafe. There you go, you hold on there, mate. There, yeah, no, other side. Excellent, well done. So it's gone like that. Quite bizarre. And it was extreme in the sense of its volatility. And I looked back over this because it was my experience. And I thought, what was the purpose of this experience? Because it was involving two lots of awareness that, in my personal sense, as I look through from an illusionary perspective, and I don't mean that to diminish or lessen what I say, but I hold these two people close. You know, you can't get closer to my sense of heart, my sense of love. These two are very dear to me. So I was quite distraught in that sense. I was looking for the lesson. And, and the lesson, as ridiculous as it may seem, is this. It doesn't matter how extreme you perceive an interaction in the sense of the volatility you experienced, what you felt, what you gave, what you receive. Okay, it doesn't matter. The point is just to go detach yourself so that you can see it from the sense of, in this personal form, I've done this and this and this and this based on this, and this has led to this because of this, and all of it, in fairness, was initiated by error in creative thought over time by all parties concerned. If we look at life experience from a God perspective, we could just say, oh wow, look at that. That's really distressing. I can see, yeah, that's a nonsense, that's a nonsense, that's a yeah, I can see how that's all error. Yeah, and I still embrace that sense of unconditional love towards these two life awarenesses, these two incarnations, these two senses of other self, God's children, which we all are. So that's the lesson here. The simplicity of it is that it's just okay. And when you see them again or speak to them again or whatever, you just think and speak and act with unconditional love. Because that was just a detached experience from this individuated, illusionary sense of self. It's illusory because this is just a framework to hold my awareness, yeah, for the period of the incarnation, which is determined by me. I want to go to over 150 years, just for the crack, because I can, unless someone gets a no, boof, you don't know, why not? But why? Why would you? Why wouldn't you just celebrate difference in the sense of inspiring you to do similar or same, just for the crack, because it's positive. It's, oh yeah, I'm enjoying this experience here in this divine place. Why would you leave? This is the point, isn't it? The only reason you might leave is if things got too much in the sense of your perceptions, or if what you wanted to learn prior to you incarnating, if you've learned, if it's brought up more questions through your experience, you can't unravel them. So here's the point again, the unraveling of self. I don't know if it was in videos a long while ago or if it's something that I've said in my writings or in social media posts, I'm not sure. Seven seventies. If every morning, this is from, excuse me, it's natural. The Way of Mastery. I saw it somewhere else as well. The idea of I think it's mentioned in one of the Testaments. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is this, that if you allow yourself to accept that, oh, that's a lot, yeah? 490 probably. So, just as a figure, 1, you, that's shit, isn't it? All right. There you go. So, 1. I hope, oh, I'm thinking about the light as well. I'll do it a bit lower. There we go. 1. You are divine child. Okay. 2. You are immortal. Okay. 3. I'm very aware of the fact that I do that a lot. I want you to know. It's funny that I would say that, isn't it? This is an example of how we become self-conscious. Okay, let's carry on. You are divine child. You are immortal, and being God's child, you can relax into, I don't know, fearless knowing and simply be. So, you don't need anything. This is a place just to witness and experience with a loving perspective, with gratitude and humility. This was created for us as divine children as a space to be, yeah, and experience the wonders of creation. Yes. Let's see how long we've been going. 23, 40, well, 45, straight man. Anyway, so think about that. You are divine child. You are immortal. How are you immortal? Because this is not you. Okay? When you, in a literal sense, when you close your eyes, thank you, Miss Millie. When you close your eyes, then you're stepping closer to the center of your being. All right? Do it often. Just allow yourselves to be in the moment. There is no thing that you can do here that is wrong. There is no thing here that you can do that you need to share with another self. That sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? But just think about this. The onus of responsibility, your responsibility is to control yourself in every moment, in the sense of, are you being loving towards yourself, and are you being loving towards other self? Why would you be loving towards yourself? Because you're just God having experience as divine child here in this three-dimensional space. Okay? But that means that everyone else is as well. And so because of that, you can interact and I don't want to receive that energy, so that person's in a different space. It's very easy to judge, but you have to ground yourself in the fact that there is one. There is only one, ever been, ever will be. One. And we are the one. It's very simple. So anything that happens in your life really is inconsequential. So what does that mean in the sense of work? Well, hopefully work for everyone will just improve. Look, divine constructs based on simplicity and recreation of known from the very first instant of creative awareness. Yeah, anyway. I was going to say this, draw this, I thought about this, saw it, and I thought about it like this initially, in the sense of depth, and you come out towards light. But that's not really truth. The only way to perceive from my belief is in the sense of this, not as a two-dimensional representation, but as a three-dimensional representation, because then we can understand that idea of being seed and then growth, bringing all the awareness to us, yeah, all the awareness to us, and this is all this, yeah, all this energy we attract here, we look at, we pull in, we keep this, and we have to undo this. Yeah, so one of the exercises that were offered by Jeshua was to, when you wake up in the morning, and this has been done by lots of other people, so, and why would it have been done by other people, and why am I saying it's been done by other people? Because we're all God. Yeah, don't get fixated on one identity, one individuated form, okay? What's the difference between Benjamin Netanyahu right now and Adolf Hitler? Nothing. Both murderers, responsible for the death of men, women and children, innocent, yeah, to his intentions and desires and everything else. So fucked up. That's outside, because it's so unloving. Yeah? Every one of you that are unloving know that I know, and in that sense, you know. And you judge yourself now, because there is only one judge, and that is God. And you are God, and you judge yourself. That's why you have a choice to stay and build in this, yes, this intensity of negativity that becomes like a black hole, or do you free yourself from this and work your way back towards the freedom and awareness of truth? Remember, the single truth will set you free. What's that? You're God. Next. Poof! So easy. So we take all this away, and what are we left with? Just you at the middle. And then you realise that you are a divine child, and as a divine awareness, then it's like, wow, I'm back in the absolute. And that's your resting place. So I think that's possibly enough. So remember, creation, stability in the sense of size. There's no awareness, it's just fixed, but everywhere. Yeah. Divine creation, so there we've got building blocks, we just add to what we know, in the sense of the royal we here. Divine creation as opposed to illusion. Let's just finish on this, all right? Because this is how you break free, okay? So, let's think about this. This is all about breaking free from illusion so that you become godly aware, wholly aware. Yeah, that's cool. Right, okay. In every moment of your awareness, the simple truth is that your distraction in recycling egoic reference distracts you from the truth of that which you are. So, I'll say again, there is nothing you can do, think, say that is wrong. So every rule and regulation set down by government, police and everyone else, as bonkers as that is wrong. Why was it set down? Because the fear that people can't control themselves. And when you're encased in negative energy and nonsense and rubbish and lies and untruth and detachment from the awareness of self as God, then you're full of fear, because it's like, well, where the fuck did all this come from? What the fuck is going on? How can I survive? Well, you don't have to survive here, because you are immortal in the sense of your awareness. And your awareness sits as seed inside this perceived framework of form. Form, light, love. So it's love, light, expression. Okay? This collection is love, expressed by the big G. Okay? And this is the vessel that we can use just to say, yeah, thanks, Father. Because in the most literal sense, even though it is one, because it's infinite, yeah, it's still all origination, us, this is all us, from that one. Okay? So that magic of knowing I exist. Yeah? Where do you exist? Well, close your eyes, remove the illusion from your senses, and begin to explore that world of absolute truth, because we're going back to that beginning. We're moving away from the whole illusion that we sense in and going back to find out what's there, which is just the single fact that we are a single awareness created from the one divine awareness, so we are part of the collective whole. This comes back to my poem, Bubble World. Yeah? And again, if you think of bubble world, yeah, big G, all us in, it's creation of what's known within again. Yeah. Okay. I think that's about everything you need at the moment. You are God, I'm God. And being God is all about understanding what is an egoic reference, thought-wise, yeah, what's important and what's true. Someone's going to come and kill me. Oh, so this is what it's like to be murdered. Someone's going to come and rape me. Oh, this is what it's like to be raped. From that point, well, certainly from the rape one, not so much from the murdered one. If you've been murdered, it's like, well, just move on. Whatever you're doing next, okay? It's quite simple because you're immortal in your sense of awareness. If you've been raped, abused, been stolen from, if you've raped someone, you've stolen from someone, you've abused someone, it doesn't matter what you've done. Just understand that these are separate from yourself because it's all based in this illusion. And at that point, because you're detached, you can forgive yourself. This is here just for you to experience. Once you've experienced, you can determine, based on your awareness, is it loving? What I've done, what's being done to me, is it loving? No. Okay. Wow. We move on. Now I know. In my sense of awareness, I know. I don't want to experience that again. I don't want to do that again. Yeah, or in either way, it's an experience, whether you're the doer or the receiver. Okay? And that's the purpose. It's so that you can move away from everything based on your sense of knowing of what you perceive as loving or unloving. That's it. If something's unloving, just forgive. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what it is, in every sense of the word. I said this a few videos ago. All right, the point that you've missed is that everyone has come back to where they are to learn specific lessons. In the sense of I'm experiencing this, this and this, I'm experiencing this, this and this. It doesn't matter where you are, the point is that you find forgiveness in your heart, as it were. Heart, mind, yeah? Heart, Greek, pump, but we still do it, don't we? Because it's called heart anyway. So, but what we're talking about is the heart of mind, yeah. Heart of mind, right in the middle, right in the middle, the core, yeah? Because that's what you're going back to, that's what you're now building upon. Doesn't matter how much shit you've got in your life, find the courage within yourself to love yourself and say, okay, what the fuck is all this about? I'm doing this, I'm being this, I'm having this, whatever the situation is. You are God. Find love within yourself, forgive, and move into more pleasant surroundings to where you want to be. Because if you move away from something that's negative, say an abusive relationship, yeah, in whatever dynamic, yeah, you just move away from it because it represents a negative space and you don't want to be in negative space. And everyone is allowed to move into negative space. And as you choose to move away from negative space into positive space, yeah, wherever that is, whatever that entails, that's your next element to undo. And you just accept it. Oh, right, I've got a lift, I've got a job, I've got this, I've got that, and whatever it is, you'll unravel that, unravel that, unravel that. Yeah, find peace, find peace, find peace. Give forgiveness, give forgiveness, give forgiveness because you're detached, because it's an illusion-based experience with the framework that's there as a vessel to support your experience. Okay? So, being God. Please share this. There's millions of people that are on the cusp of awakening and these words will help. They will help bar your door open. Because all it is acceptance. It's your power lies in this. I am. What are you? I am at peace. Yeah. Why are you at peace? Because I am divine child. Yeah. If I'm divine child, I don't have to worry. Whatever the situation is, everything's going to be all right. I'll just sit and think about what I'm going to do next. And then I do it. Because I base it on that voice, that divine inspiration. Go here, do this, eat this, think that. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's that idea of being divinely inspired to follow your path, to get back to the core you, throwing out forgiveness through understanding along the way. What's the understanding? The understanding is that if this person's like this and if this person's like that, and thinking, and that causes this sort of entanglement in the sense of emotional disturbance, and the negative energy builds to a fire reaction, and that's just not loving. Okay, I can see how that all works. Let's avoid that. Let's go and do this. It might be an energy entity in how, because if it's a person being a certain way, you're drawn to it. It's still an understanding in that space based on your experience. Loving or unloving, that's the thing. Unloving or not love, unloving or loving, that's all it ever is. And we aspire to loving unconditionally in every sense of the word. And it's hard, yeah, because there are emotive references. And if you can just allow yourself to settle with experience and find the truth in the experience, then you can afford the forgiveness based on your understanding and knowing of who you are, divine child. I can forgive that. Bless. It's just me having an experience from that perspective. That's how we interact. Yeah? Divine child coming into the same space to interact through whatever dynamic has been developed in the catalyst. Okay? So, bubble world, yeah, bubble world. 1 + 1 = 1. Because that's all there is. There's no Jesus Christ. Pope, just a deceptor. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. So sad. All those people duped. Anyway, you are divine child. You are immortal. Being God's child, you can relax into fearless knowing and simply be. This is coming up to this new year, 25. I think massive changes here. I can feel it coming. So, the single truth that sets you free is what you are. Because what you are is the foundation of everything in your awareness. So on that note, fellow beings, I'm going to leave you. Please share. Let's allow all other self the choice of affording themselves a new awareness, true awareness. Love all round.